All right, today I'm going to be working on how far can I send Elle to her place. So anytime we're practicing anything, we're working on the 3D, distance, how far, duration, how long, distraction, what distractions can be present. So I have it set up outside today so I can work on getting her further and further and further away on her send away. And I crashed into it. Now I don't break her every time I come far away. But I also don't hold as long as duration. So your ordinary practices, you would not, most of the time when you're practicing, you would not break her as frequently as I'm breaking her. You might put her on there and have her stay for 20 or 30 minutes. But with adding distance, duration kills speed. So I'm going to be breaking her a lot more than what you're going to be breaking her at home. If you ever struggle with getting her to go to her bed from a distance, this is the exercise you go back to. Break. 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 No, break. 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 She's like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to lay on the dog bed. You bring me treats. I know what this is about. So I'm actually going to have her wait back here now. Sit. Good. Each send away is going to be from further and further away. Place. Yes. Break. Break. Yes. So I want to make sure she's going there fast, but I'm marking her for the choice to lay down on there. Oh, place. Yes. If she hesitated, I would say good for getting on there, and yes when she lays down. Break. Break. Good. Down. And I don't mind if they're sticky on their break. I would rather them be hard to get off than hard to keep on. You're cute. Place. You're like, where did it go? It was right there. Place. Place. Good. Yes. So you saw right there was the distance she started to struggle, and the bed moved, which she was like, I don't know where the bed went. I think she probably did know. I want to make sure the bed's in the video. Yeah, okay. Ready, place. So right now you're gonna see how I troubleshoot it. There's really not as much help as you would think. I'm giving her time to think about it. I'm looking that direction. I may repeat the cue a lot more than you would typically repeat it. Good. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. All right. So I'm going to give her time on this side to be like, well, this isn't fun. We're just hanging out here. I'm laying down. Nothing's happening. That place is the place she wants to be because it's the party mat. Oh. Place. Break. Place. Break. Place. 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 Yes. Good job. So over here is boring, over there is fun. So it's magnetizing her over there. Now she's pretty committed to her default settle. If she doesn't know what, I'm not doing anything with her, her default is to down. She's pretty committed to it. Sometimes she takes it quite seriously and I have to break her from her default settle. Yeah. Ready? Place! Break! Place! Yes! So I opted to use my reward marker as soon as she hit it because she was really hesitating to go that far of a distance. That's a pretty good distance down to her place. So I want to make sure that there's no second guessing what she's supposed to be doing. Place! Break. And I want to make sure she doesn't think she's supposed to be staying. Break! 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 Good. Place! Yes! Good. Oh, break! Oh, break! So I'm going to stay at that step until I can consistently send her from back here. Ow! Place! Yes! So the pause over on this end seems boring, but it's to reinforce that that place is the most fun. Ow, please. Yes, much happier with that one. Good girl. Good girl. So I would consider that our first truly successful repetition at this distance. It was the first cue, the first time, it was fast and straight into a down. Yes. She's like, nah, I'm committed. This is fun. So when you get her home, when she's not training with the dog bed, you will pick it up. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Good job. So I'm going to put her on leash so she doesn't have the option to run down there before I cue it. However, the reason I rewarded that, even though I didn't cue it, is because I want a dog that when she doesn't know what to do with herself, she just goes lays down on her bed. If we're out for a walk and I stop walking and she doesn't know what to do, she just lays down. Guests come over, she just settles down and goes lays on the bed. I really want that to be kind of her default. So by marking and rewarding her for those choices, like she just chose to lay down without being prompted, I'm reinforcing the idea of if you make good choices like that, it's going to be rewarded. By tipping up the dog bed the first 2 weeks home, what you're doing is you're preventing her from going on there and realizing maybe it's not as fun. So when I'm going to tip it is right before I do have somebody come over, or right before I need her to settle down. And I'm going to tip it down for her to get on there. And then when I'm done with it, I'm going to tip it up. If I forget and find her that she's been laying on the dog bed 20 minutes, it is your job to reward her, at least for the first 2 weeks. Those first 2 weeks are your habituation window where things become habits. Ow, play. You step on your leash. Ready? Play. Yes, good job. Another question you may have had is, why when I told her break and she didn't break, did I go back and reward her? That's disobedience, right? Well, technically it is disobedience, but I would way rather reinforce her for second guessing breaking and being like, nah, I think I want to stay on there, than get her to anticipate breaking, right? I'd rather have a dog that I have to tell to release 2 or 3 times than a dog's like, oh, they picked up the leash, I probably should break. Oh, they dropped food on the floor, I should probably break. I would rather have them really thinking that, oh man, I really want to stay on here. And part of the way I do that is if she does break before I tell her, I take the dog bed away and then she loses the party mat. So she's worried she's going to lose the fun training mat. If she breaks, I'm going to keep her from going back there, which means she's not going to get as much food on her mat. Instead of making it a big deal, I just put her on leash when I say break, then I can just take her away and I can prevent her from going to self-reward and running down there before I cue it. Also, we took her to Beans, and I would say she's generally fairly shy of people. But the guy who owns Beans brought her a piece of bacon, and now every time she sees a guy about his age group, she's like, hello, hi, do you have bacon? She really liked the guy at Beans. Huh. Yeah, he was pretty nice, huh? Ready to go back? Break! Play! Yes! Good job. Yeah. Good. Heel. Focus. Yeah. Good job. Heel. Now focus. Yes. Not yet. Heel. I would say she's pretty stubborn, but she's also really enjoys working. But she definitely, I would say, would try to blow you off if it was allowed. She's kind of a opportunistic girl. She's very sweet though, huh? Ready? Place.